Bryn and friends, Bryn and friends. It starts with Bryn, but that's not where it ends. You've also got a bunch of her friends, Bryn and friends, Bryn and friends. Featuring Phill,
Yeah, one of those puts me more at risk for COVID than others.
Sahar,
Waiting for government to help.
Right.
We'll see.
Simon,
You know, you gotta pivot. That's what everyone talks about. You have to pivot.
and of course, your host, Bryn Bratton Wall. Bryn and friends, on the internet talking about stuff, different views off the cuff. What do you think will get discussed? Bryn and friends, Bryn and friends.
Thanks for doing this.
Thank
I
you.
don't have a job, so.
Oh no, fair enough.
So, I guess I'll just jump in, then we can just talk like friends.
Mm-hmm.
The idea. I thought we could start with celebrity meltdowns. I don't know. It's okay if you're also not following celebrities. My new favorite one is Chelsea Peretti is doing makeup tutorials that are just bonkers on Instagram. Like she's just putting makeup all over her face and making her like eyes look like a mouth and stuff. I guess the interesting thing to me is famous people are so used to getting attention and almost maybe like not liking that attention is kind of built into that, but now they clearly need it. Like they're struggling. Thoughts?
Yeah.
Thoughts, Sahar?
I'm really enjoying the we're all in this together sort of conversation when clearly we are not. And we're not.
Let's
This
all sing
isn't some sort of
Imagine.
equalizer. Oh yeah. I cringed so hard in that my mouth filled with saliva. Like I couldn't
I
was like,
watch it.
this needs to stop. That's my favorite meltdown. Also the Madonna that you said was pretty
Oh yeah.
pretty good.
Which is kind
I
of
didn't even recognize her. I was like, who is
Yeah.
this?
I mean, we'll see what everyone looks like once they can no longer get injections of Botox
That's true.
as well.
I always want to give Madonna the benefit of the doubt, and then she just always reminds me that she's really not that nice of a person. You know what I mean? I'm always like,
Yeah.
Madonna, you know, what a legend, what an icon. And then Madonna says something, you're like, you're pretty awful.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
you are really an awful person.
yeah.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure she peaked in like 96 maybe.
Yeah.
Like 96, 98, somewhere around there. And
What
then
album
it's
was
just like-
that? Do you remember?
I have no idea.
Like Frozen, you mean?
Yeah,
That's
totally.
one,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Or
Frozen.
Wave of Light? No, Ray of Light.
Ray of Light. That
Mhm.
freaked me
That's on the wrong side of the peak.
bad.
Debatable.
Do you have a favorite meltdown, or are you following?
I mean, I generally don't really give a shit about celebrities, but I did do a deep dive on TMZ recently. And yeah, Ellen being like, oh, I'm so bored, and just like reaching out to a bunch of her friends and telling the world about how bored she is. And then like one of her former staffers coming out and trolling her and being like, Ellen's actually the worst person in the world.
Yeah, I went deep down that Twitter feed. Deep.
Yeah.
Are you
I'm
familiar with this, Simon?
With the Ellen, like,
Is it
which one?
that Ellen's just like trash?
Oh yeah, she is mean, right?
Like,
Yeah, I
she's
saw
so
that.
mean.
And then that person asked for all of the different mean stories about Ellen. Is that
Yeah,
right?
and then they're donating
Yeah.
money for every mean story.
I don't
I
think
love
she is very
that.
nice. That game show is really mean. Like I can't watch that show, like Game
I
of
haven't
Games.
watched
Like
it.
it's evil. Like it's just like you can tell from that game show because it's always like about her like whipping people around or like dropping them from like great heights or like it's really crazy. It's really crazy.
For
And
money?
like yeah, they're trying to win money and it's just like really there's something like cruel about it. There's something quite cruel about like making people do things for money and then really like humiliating them. And she seems
Yeah.
to really enjoy it and like not like in a way where you're like underneath you're enjoying this.
Yeah.
Like this is
Yeah.
an act. You're trying
Yeah.
to be nice, but no, she's very. I don't know, Ellen. I don't know, Ellen. She peaked in what in 1997, right? When she
Totally.
came out. That was the best thing she ever did. I don't know.
Well, it's just
Yeah.
it's just weird because like she's looking for a lot of sympathy, but like on my list of people that I'm gonna have sympathy for during this, like Ellen's so far down the list.
Yeah.
Like she's like in the
She's just out of
7.2 to
touch, you know?
7.3 billion range, like of all the population. Like she's like in that lower
Yeah.
tier. Like
Yeah.
it's just not.
I agree. Also, her George Bush shit, I was not down for.
Right.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite meltdown, Simon?
No, my favorite thing, like I think I really liked how people responded to that thing that Britney Spears posted on her Instagram, where she like talked about redistribution of wealth. Like, I just couldn't believe that I just like, for me, like I'm a long-standing Britney Spears Instagram account follower, and like
Yeah.
Britney Spears is like a special thing where it's like if you're like, you can't say anything mean, if you're gonna say something mean, or if you're gonna say anything about, she's just like something to appreciate. And so then she posted that meme, and there were like so many articles about Britney Spears being a Marxist, and it's like the most clear example of just like you just like it's like you just need to write a story, you just need to create clickbait. But then there were all these people on my Facebook being like, I didn't really like Britney Spears, but I really like this Marxist thing she posted. I'm like, you do not know Britney Spears. She just, this is not a conversation. And then I was watching someone's Facebook thread, and there was this huge debate about Britney, and they were like, she can't possibly be a Marxist. Like, she lives in a mansion. I'm like, this is not anything we need to talk about. Like, this is not a story. It's not a story. Britney Spears' Instagram is not a story ever. It's just a thing that you look at and you like. It's not a story. It's not political debate. There's nothing happening there.
Sometimes you get a little worried about her.
She's definitely I don't think she's in a good place. And I just feel like, can we not, like, I just feel like any reputable news organization that reported that story, I'm like, you are, like, this is not a story. Like, her, like, she's not a Marxist, unfortunately, but she's.
I didn't even read any of those, but Matthew got really mad. He was like, she just retweeted something that she probably didn't understand with 3 roses, and like, that's supposed to be a social. Like, no, she just uses that emoji.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I've been watching that, like, that account is gold. Like, Britney Spears' Instagram is literally like a 12-year-old girl's account. And like, it's like an amazing account to follow. But I just was like, oh, we're gonna, like, now we're taking notice of this. This has been going on for like a while. So that's my favorite one. And celebrity couples, Shawn Mendes and like Camila Cabello, they're like quarantining together. I think it's very interesting when celebrity couples quarantine together, because how can it be a showmance then? Like, you're really committed. You're committed.
Well, you broke the white woman trend there with that last one. I was like, they're all white women. And it's not lost on me that I'm doing this right now. So,
what is making you laugh these days, Phill?
So some of the memes that are like memes and just like posts and stuff that are coming out are pretty funny. And I love the ones that kind of jab at like the inequality of like the responses to COVID, you know, like because there's a real class element to how the responses are and stuff like that, and like it also cuts across lines of race and things like that. So I saw one where someone posted and they were like, I just came from the grocery store and all the chicken was gone. Then I went to the spice section and it was completely stocked. Folks, we know who's stealing all the who's like hoarding all the chicken. And it was a black woman who did that, and I was like, yeah, like, talk that shit, like, this is awesome. Like,
white people eating bland chicken.
No, for real, like, that's exactly what's happening right now. Like, that is for sure what's happening, and like, someone needs to name it. So like, I'm glad that people are saying their shit, you know.
That's good.
Yeah.
Simon,
That's funny.
Oh my goodness. Or like, what's making me, I don't know. Like, I have a puppy, right? Like, everything it does is funny. Everything that a baby dog does is funny. Like, literally, you know.
Sahar.
I agree with memes. The celebrity shit was hilarious. Really funny. Just add a touch. Completely tone deaf. Like, I love that. The memes were funny. There was one, I agree with you, Phill, one where someone said, if you want to know if you have the virus, cough in a rich person's face and wait for them to get tested.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But I also, like, I've been on a lot more like Zoom calls and conference calls, which are always hilarious. Like, people don't know how to do anything at all. Like, they don't know how to like mute their audio, and there's like dogs and kids in the background and things like that. And I'm like, just fucking mute your audio.
Yeah.
Like, is it boomer shit, or are we just all not used to this reality yet? I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
So we'll see. Like a
like,
toilet flushing sound and stuff. I've been on my toilet this whole time.
Yeah.
Kind of on a related note, one of the things I find funny is that like so many folks are just trying to pretend like it's just like business as usual, and like so that's part of the humor I find when people are like, no, like the world is burning, like this is not just a regular day, like yeah, like at work and stuff, we're just like on our Zoom calls and we're just like, okay, so who's gonna take care of this? Well, and like outside, like it's just completely silent. Like I live beside a daycare and there's just like abandoned like abandoned playgrounds and stuff. Like it's just so ridiculous.
Yeah. They put caution tape around all the playgrounds here. Like police caution tape.
Yeah, it's like so messed up.
It's wild. Also funny, I think, is all the new language that we now use, which like social distancing to me is the funniest. Do you have any like favorite language that's come out, Sahar?
One I heard, which was in response to something that I suggested, because I think you get a little squirrely at home, was that, everyone's going to have like really bad eyebrows and stuff. And I was like, should I get bangs? And then the term is COVID bangs.
COVID bangs.
Bangs you cut yourself at home out of desperation to cover your eyebrows.
Which
is worse than having
specifically
like,
about eyebrows.
yeah,
That's really
just
funny.
have bad brows.
Yeah.
Like,
Phill?
should we get COVID bangs?
Well, my friend actually on Instagram the other day just cut her bangs. So like
on live or like you?
no,
saw
like
it,
there was some stuff in the stories though.
Yeah.
It's like a picture.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matthew was gonna shave his head, but
Oh.
then his hairdresser was like, "This is a really bad time for you to do that because what if you hate it? Like you're just gonna look at yourself." You know what I mean? Like there's so
Yeah.
much more time to look at yourself. Like it seemed like a prudent thing to do, but she was like, I really caution against that right now. It's also a thing that people do when they're emotional. Like I certainly have done it in my life. I'm just like really upset. And I'm like, just take it, just shave my head. And then you're like, okay.
Was he gonna shave his own head and he called his hairdresser for advice?
This was when his hairdresser was still
Oh, okay.
working, but he went in and then she didn't do it. Yeah, she just like really talked him out of it. But
Okay.
I've been waiting for him to shave his head for 10 years because I thought he would look so good. Just think that people look really hot with a shaved head. This is the time.
I think this is the
It
time.
took coronavirus.
This is the
to
time.
do it,
Yeah.
but it didn't happen. It'll never happen now. There's
He can
nothing.
shave
What
his
could
own
be
head.
worse?
We'll see how squirrely he gets.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Phill, any fun language?
Well, just like people talking about all the babies that are going to come out of coronavirus and like calling it like COVID babies or like quarantines and all that stuff. Like, yeah, so I think that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to think of what else. Oh yeah, just like all the people that are remixing songs to make them about coronavirus. So like Neil Diamond did a remix of like Sweet Caroline, and like it was like, "Don't touch me, I won't touch you,"
Oh,
and
man.
like, yeah, I'm trying to think of what else. I don't know. There's a bunch of them. Love
All
in a
these
time
songs
of
got a
corona.
lot less rapey suddenly.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
We won't
Yeah.
do it for Me Too, but we'll do it for Corona.
totally. Yeah, hashtag patriarchy.
Yeah. The next big topic was to motivate myself to write jokes, which I didn't do at all. But I learned. But did you guys write anything? I feel like I'll start with you, Phill, because it's kind of your job.
Well, that's the funny thing with all the stuff that's happening. I have like very little motivation to write, so I'm just
Yeah.
like, yeah, I haven't really written anything. I
Yeah.
can write something in the next 5 minutes if you turn to someone else and ask them.
Sahar.
No, I've been really busy at work actually.
You
I
don't
barely,
write a lot of emails or anything?
I write emails. Yes. I write emails. I write like a link. I send a link to someone. I say, look at this. And that's about it.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
Phill, are you laughing at what you wrote or at Sahar?
No, just like Sahar's matter of fact like statement. She's like, yep, I write emails to people with links to things. Yeah.
Simon, did you write anything? Have you tried keep writing jokes?
No. I thought I just feel like all the jokes would be I don't want to write any jokes about the coronavirus. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, oh, we're just gonna have to talk about this forever. That's the worst thing about a catastrophe. It's not the worst thing about a catastrophe, but sometimes for me, like when really disruptive things like this happen, like I'm always like,
Simon, so that
please take that out. Please take it out. No, it's just like sometimes like I don't want to talk about it, like because literally you have to talk like this. You just have to. This is all you talk about, and for me, I'm like mostly like to listen to people, so it's just like a lot of listening about the coronavirus. And like I went over to like my mom's house yesterday. I was like, now it's time for your like Corona digest of everything you've heard about the Corona digest. And it's just like no. So I don't feel very like inspired to write about any. I don't really need to. I don't think there's a lot of dialogue about coronavirus right now. I don't think I need to add anything to it apart from maybe this, this group call. I don't really know. The only thing, what's nice about though is like I was thinking about like I have written emails and like on all the forms, like cause we're doing like lots of sort of like applications for like funding and like business relief, and all you have to do is write COVID. I love it. When you have to fill out forms, you're like, what should I write? Like, what's the reason? Like, how specific should I be? Like, they're just like, why is your business shut down? COVID. And like, I read some of the lenders. I'm like, it's like interest relief, and they're like, why are you requesting? I'm like, COVID, and then just like next session, it's like speaks for itself.
I just applied for EI, and at the very top it was like the normal whatever, like you shortage of work, and in parentheses it was like COVID. It's like okay. I do like that it just covers everything. Like it explains everything. It explains mostly everything right now. Like why is anything happening? COVID. Why isn't something happening? COVID. There's nothing. There's no real other reason. I like Karen Kilgariff also was like, we don't need to talk about this anymore. We're all reading the same articles. Like,
yes,
that's true.
But then it's like impossible not to talk. Like nothing else is going on. Also, I
had to tell people. Sorry, I had to tell people not to talk to me about the virus. I'm like, I'm too stressed out at work and I'm doing too much. Like, I like left group chats. I'm like, peace. Enjoy talking about manufacturing.
Thanks for doing this.
No, this is great. And like, with the exception of a few things, like if it's funny and fun and thoughtful and all that stuff, but I'm like, I don't need your take. I don't need you, a layperson's take on what you're not an expert and you're not helping me right now. Like it'll be a while, or like how the economy is going to crash, or it'll be a while before they can manufacture masks. And I'm like, you're not in manufacturing. You're not an economist. Don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone on Facebook sent me like make sure you drink lots of tea because that helps against the virus or whatever. And I was like, what the hell? And then like 5 minutes later, they're like, oh, I just found out this isn't true. Like, never mind.
Drink a bunch of tea if you want to. Like.
Like, I'm gonna do that anyway, but like don't try and tell me that this is gonna fix the virus. Like let's manage expectations here, people.
Tell me it's gonna make my skin nicer.
No one's having popping nails. No one's brows are good. Like its standard is very low. And if you do, like, what are you doing? Is there some underground black market shit you're doing? Like, what is it? I don't know.
Are you going out in public?
What are you doing?
So you're outed.
Yeah. Oh, French tips. Okay.
Yeah. I see you don't have roots anymore. What's that about?
Yeah, totally.
Claire a while ago asked me to write a COVID. I don't know what it was. She's like, write a set on COVID, and I was like, all the jokes I write are just about general existential dread. It like doesn't work. If there's a real threat, I can't. So that's the joke I wrote about that. It's great.
Wow.
And Bryn, do you remember in our class too, there were some COVID jokes, and they're just like from like, this is like 2 months ago. So they're from such a like simpler time, but they were really like, hey, I think I'll write a COVID joke. I'll get him with this one. It's like, did not age well. You know what I mean? I would not have liked to see that.
No.
That seems terrible. Like, no. But they were like, whoa, COVID, what's going to happen? It's like 2 months later, like, sorry, your material.
Yeah.
Get rid of it.
Oh.
It was worse than you imagined. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, Phil, what did you write?
Oh, I actually didn't write anything.
You didn't write like a quick poem?
No. Like,
do you want to read us an old poem?
No.
I'm gonna like find one and read it.
Pretty much everybody I know who's a writer like does not want to write right now.
Yeah.
there's like too much pressure. It's like for so long you're just like, oh man, what I would do for like some time to just like write. And now
Right.
you have all the time in the world. You're like, well, guess I better become a New York Times bestseller. And like it's just like way too much pressure. Like
It's
yeah,
false time though. It's not really time.
Yeah.
exactly.
Like our thoughts are occupied
totally
with all this bullshit because people won't stop sending you links of like tea.
Yeah. So like I've been working on a book for like a while now, and I like part of me is like, oh, this is the time. Like I can finally finish this. Another part of me is like, you need to chill out, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
relax.
Not like we're not doing this right now.
Yeah. And it might get like, it might last a real long time. So it might get like easier to, I don't know. Any other time I've ever been unemployed too, I've never gotten anything done. Like maybe months and months I'll have a routine, but
what I'm hearing through the various worlds that I'm in is like probably until at least end of August. We're looking at social distancing.
yeah. I think, that makes sense.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, like if we end up like being back to normal in like July, don't get mad at me. But
By April 12th?
yeah.
That's what Trump said. I don't know. He seems like he's handling it really well.
I have to say though, that Trump expression, he said raring to go. And I do feel that's my favorite expression, just raring to go. He was like, we're gonna be raring to go by Easter. And I was like, actually, this is the moment where I'm like, maybe I just want to believe you. Like,
Yeah.
maybe I'm like raring to go. I was like, how do you even spell that? But it's such a funny expression. Just like, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, what would it feel like to believe that? It must feel really nice. But
Yeah, which is why it's so dangerous that he said it.
Yeah.
People are like, sweet.
oh, sure. Yeah, raring to go.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
does that mean? I feel like you're raring to go now.
Yeah,
You know, like
everyone's
we're
raring to
preparing
go,
and
but stay
ready
inside.
and
A little bucking economy, just like.
He's
Well,
crazy.
It's
So,
funny because
no, sorry, go ahead, Phil.
I was just gonna say like I don't know if you folks have seen that like Cardi B clip that's like going around where she's like coronavirus, and like everybody's making fun of that, but like that's a much more accurate depiction of what's happening than everything that Trump is saying.
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
you know what I mean? Like
Oh, yeah.
it's so wide. Everything's just so distorted.
Yeah.
absolutely. It's funny because when I think of the word coronavirus, I hear Cardi B say it in my
Right?
head every time. Every time.
Well-
Coronavirus. Like that's what it is.
Yeah. Well, and it got made into a song that's now on the Billboard
Yeah.
like top 50.
What?
Yeah.
That's amazing. I didn't know that. So the last segment is going to be, what's your favorite thing about dogs? Go ahead, Sahar.
When they do like dumb shit, I think, like really dumb shit. The stupider the dog, the better.
Yeah, you like a dumb dog. You
Yes.
like that they're dumb.
Yes.
Yeah. I like that their feet smell like cheesies. And if you don't believe me, go smell a dog foot. That's what they smell like. Phil?
Well, I mean, I'm a cat person, so I'm biased,
No.
but I'm gonna come up with something for dogs. I like how loyal they are. Like they're like freakishly loyal. Like
Yeah.
someone once told me that dogs have owners and cats have staff.
Yeah.
I think that's accurate. Like my cat has just been making all these demands over the last few days, and I feel like a dog wouldn't do that.
Is your cat liking having you guys home?
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Oh.
I mean, we have to wait on her hand and foot. It's pretty brutal, but she loves it.
Good. Simon?
I don't know. I just like when they tire themselves out and they just collapse and go to sleep, like right in front of you. I just think it's really sweet.
You like a sleepy dog?
And I like a sleepy dog, but I just like seeing them like be like, and then just like it's done. Like they're gonna go to sleep now. Like right in front of you. I just like this cycle. This cycle is very calming. And like when we come home, like our dog comes to the door, and then I like going around the house and finding out where they were sleeping the whole time you were gone. You could find like a little warm spot. You're
Yeah.
like, you were just here. You didn't do anything. You just slept here this whole time.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
not, my dog doesn't do that. I like to walk around the house and see what she's shredded. What she found that she could shred.
Oof.
Oh, there's Rosie.
I don't know.
This is a great way to end.
Yeah, I don't know if she's gonna. Oh, she's running away. Hold on. Okay, we'll say a
Well,
quick hello.
oh, look.
Oh.
Oh.
She's gonna run away now. Oh, there's her bomb.
Oh.
Look at this pug
This
right
pussy.
here.
Oh
Oh.
Yeah.
Sahar, you have a living thing you can grab.
no. No. I'm at my mom's house. Here's a Kleenex box.
Okay. Is it empty?
Oh.
Nope.
Nice. Well, I think this is a great way to end.
Bryn